Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field. And I still get a little jittery when I say to Greater Boston League Soccer, because I still have a hard time getting used to classical and English playing in the Greater Boston League. Medford making their second trip. They're looking for a sweep. They defeated English here. They're trying to make it 2-0 and knock off the Rams. Oliver Lalaka in net for Medford. Isaiah Diaz for Classical. Eric Moreno. I guess I have to say Eric Moreno Jr., the coach of Classical. His father was the coach of Lynn Tech, excuse me. Medford gave it up. Classical trying to walk in. Alaka will come out. They pushed it a little too far. Skips by. Classical knocks it back upfield. Medford knocks it back the other way. And he started back. Broken up nicely by Classical defense. They pushed it behind Alvarez. And they called Medford offside. They tracked it down when they were getting to the ball. There were actually two players offside. Since the game just ended, I have to apologize to Mega Papazoglou. I did not give her credit for the second goal in the Classical girls game. I found out from Mike Shenner that she was the one that scored the goal. From a distance, it looked like number 7. The numbers are similar. Classical got a big win before this. Jade Mateo getting a hat trick. Classical had it blocked, and they knock it home. They got loose out in front. And I had my eye on who scored the goal, and then everybody got around them. They were all slapping hands. They all bounced around. Now I have no idea who got the goal. Classical very quickly jumps on top 1-0. And he knocked it deep. Alaka will come out of the net, pick it off, and kick it away. Knocked away, and they knocked the Medford player down. Raphael Gross got knocked down from midfield. The free kick will come. Ayana Kiev with that long free kick. Got it down here to amaze the players. Medford knocked it out. Diaz will kick it away. I want to say it was Sarmento that got the goal, but I'm not really sure. Now it goes right by the far post, and Medford couldn't get a foot on it. Diaz come out to cut down the angle. They pushed it by him, and there was a Medford player following the play, and he reached over to try and get a piece of it, and he couldn't get a hold of it to tip it into the net, a wide open net, and it just slid by the far post. Huge break for the Classical Rams. Medford was going to tie it up that quickly. It goes out. Classical will put it in play. And a little collision. Medford player gets taken down. Medford will get the free kick. So once again, Ayana Kiev. Ayana Kiev. Classical trying to clear it. Now they just kick it out of play to get out of harm's way. Throw-in will come from down deep. It's nice when the sun is shining and they do it everything on the left because we look right into the sun. Classical heads it away and then kicks it away. And they carry it back. Back checking by Medford takes it away. Sliding, Classical knocks it out. And they give it to Classical. I thought the player looked like he was sliding in the third base. I thought he was the one that knocked it out. They tried to clear it. They misfired, let it go through. They almost gave Classical a breakaway. Medford kicked it way out of play. And it was contact before that, so instead of the corner kick, they're going to get a free kick from just inside the 15-yard line. They're moving that Medford picket fence back. Almost dead center. They drill it right inside the far post. Aleka able to make the save. I think that was Halimi with the kick. Came close to making it 2-0. They pop it up. They knock it off Medford towards the net. Diaz has to hustle and kick it away. Classical break up the play, but they broke it, knocking it to the net. Almost gave Medford an opportunity. Now Medford trying to get there. Can't. I think that was Halimi with the defensive play. Corner kick coming from the far side. Medford got a head on it. Knocked it out. Came all the way across to the near side. It was Ayana Kiev with the header. Now it goes out. Off Batista of Medford. Ryan Dunn again. Now they're going to call contact, so it'll be a free kick. It was Roberto Gomez. There's two of them. The other is Jose Gomez. Dunn with the throw-in. Dunn's number 1 looks a lot like a number 7. Alaka will kick it away. Not sure why they turned the lights on. If we talk with one of the guy on camera, if we talk too loud, we bother me. Alaka will kick it away. Everybody trying to get a head on it. We're trying to gain control. Another header. There's a couple more. I mentioned before, in that shortened season, before, you couldn't do that. You couldn't use your head at all. They had a whole different set of rules for the soccer teams. And Glasgow was offside. It was going to go out of play anyway. They weren't going to get to it. But they had to learn the game of soccer all over again in the shortened season. And now they have to remember to go back to the regular season. And the regular rules. But the best part of this is everybody's getting out. The fans are getting out. A few people here in the stands for this one. People are able to get out. Young men and women are able to play, do their thing. Able to go to school full time, which is the best part. And things opening up. And to all those people that are upset that their child might have to wear a mask in school, check around and see what's going on with some of the schools down south and other places closing for weeks because they've got COVID cases. If the worst thing in the world is your son or daughter has to wear a mask at school, and that's your worst problem, then thank God that's your worst problem. And if that's the only problem you have, you've got a pretty good life. Okay. Broken up. And it got knocked out by Jose Gomez. They blew the whistle because the sub hadn't left the field yet. It looked like it bounced up and got somebody on the hand. Glasgow will get the free kick. Knocked deep by Roberto Gomez. And they can't break it up, so they knock it back to Diaz, and he boots it away. Oscar trying to knock it deep. It got tipped. Medford takes it away. Medford, the Mustangs. A break for Classical. They knock it up to the near side. Cutting it back to the middle. Popping it up. Man, he pushed it too far off the foot of Jair Alvarez. He got the pass initially from Morales. Cut it back to the middle, and he tried to lead one of his teammates coming in from the left side, but he chipped it just too far. It went out of play. And Lalaka kicks it away. Classical got a head on it. Collects. Nice little shift. Headed away by the defense. Morales trying to make the pass again. Dunn heads it. Broken up by the defense of Medford. Broken up nicely by Dunn. Bodies go down. Medford kicks it away. And it becomes a foot race. Classical gets there first. And they knock it back to Diaz, and he kicks it away. They blow the whistle because way back upfield, down on the turf, I think that's Sarmiento. As the trainer comes out to check on him. Oh, but it's just a cramp. Seems to be okay. He's walking out in his own steam, trying to exercise that right foot or ankle. So they'll put the ball back in play. Glasgow will kick it in, just inside midfield. Medford boots it away. And it's going to go out of play. Substitution for the Mustangs. And they put it in play. Broken up. Glasgow's had it, the Medford end quite a bit. They've got the one goal. Broken up by Medford. They tip it ahead. Looking for a break. Nice job defensively as Gomez sliding and tipping and knocking it away. And headed out by Classical. Medford trying to control. They pop it out of play. Diaz will get to kick it away. Long Saturday here at Manning Field. Kip started off with a 10 o'clock football game. Tech came in at 1 o'clock with a football game. Classical girls took on Salem Academy. Classical taking Medford. This game was supposed to be played, I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday night, late. And they got together and opted to change it to this being Saturday at 6 o'clock. Classical looking for a break, broken up by the defense. And he knocked it out off Classical. We haven't quite reached the halfway mark. We didn't have a timeout in the first game. Not quite halfway through this first half. Classical leading 1-0. Timeout down in the field. We come back out of the timeout. 1-0 Classical. Greater Boston League boys soccer. I still can't get used to that after all the years we did Northeastern Conference English and Classical. Medeiros puts it in play for Medford. And done. Went up and got a head on it. They're giving it. Dunn was doing battle with Julian. And I thought Dunn got a head on it, but they called it off Julian. Medford heads it away. They knock it forward. That's Sarmento. Nice to see him back in the game. He was the one that went gingerly walking out, so he's fine. Medford got a head on it, and then Medford ran over Classical. Julian saying, "What did I do?" Halimi will kick it away. Knocks it long and deep. It almost went over the head. Lalaka almost came out too far. He was out a few steps out in front of the net. If he didn't get that, it's going to bounce in the net. He went as high as he could, and he just got a piece of it and held on. Almost came out too far. Julian with another takedown, but they let it go. Haskell hustles back and knocks it out. I think that was Viveros knocking it out. I gotta get my glasses checked because it sure looked like Viveros caught up, reached in and kicked that ball out of play, but they're giving Classical the throw in. Right in front of the Classical bench area. And the ball went out about 10 yards further down. We'll hold up because the Classical played down. Had nothing to do with the play. Way over here to the near side, and that's got to be another one of those. Just a cramp. Morales down. The trainer coming out, trying to stretch that leg. Still early in the season, they didn't get a lot of preconditioning. I don't think they did a lot full 100 yards. So it could be a case of just tightening up. Ryan Dahl replaces him. Now they are going to move the ball at least back to where it went out of play. They had it way upfield. Now they move it back. Medford has it taken away by Classical. They knock it deep. Dahl hustling, he'll get there first. Can't get around the defense. Gift Charles, they named their son Gift. Like, I'm giving you a gift. They got a gift. Gift Charles is the young man's name. He hustled back and knocked it out. Classical will get to throw in. They're calling it a corner kick. Headed away by Medford. And knocked deep. They hustle back and they knock it all the way back to Diaz. That was Halimi knocking it back. Medford heads it back. They headed that thing about 35 yards. And they called, he headed that so far, Medford was offside. Medford was still trying to make it back after that last trip downfield. And they headed it almost 30, 35 yards in the air. Medford was offside. So the sun is now going down. We won't get blinded anymore looking to our left. He booted it very deep. Tipped away by Medford. Dahl looking to get control. Broke it up by Charles. Oswald trying to center it. It rolled through. Lalaka had it but couldn't hold on. And the defense was there at the side of the net to knock it out of play. We'll get a sub for Medford. And again, no question that Medford kicked that out of play. But they're giving the throw into Medford. I don't think I'll ever learn this game. Throwing goes out of play. Dunn will throw it in for the Rams. He tried to send Dahl in. The defense wouldn't let it go. Headed away. Blocked and knocked away. Classical knocks it ahead. Charles pushes it up, knocks it deep. Diaz will come way out of the net, collect it, and he'll boot it away. Groves pushes it down. They throw it out in front. What a save by Diaz. Great passing by Medford. They got it out in front. That was Gift Charles. Just got a little tap. Trying to rebound it in. Diaz made a tremendous save and knocked it out of play. What a great save by Isaiah Diaz. Keeps Classical on top, 1-0. Now, corner kick sliced way out, nowhere near the net, went out near the 30-yard line. Classical breaks it up. Medford's going to get called for taking Classical down. So they get out of harm's way there with that's an ESPN highlight save by Diaz. Lights have been on for a while. We'll need them now with the sun going down. Leamy drives it away. Classical looking for a break. The defense gets there first and breaks it up. Down the far side, the long pass. Classical gets there first. He just block it and let Diaz come out, slide, fall on it, and he'll kick it away. Keeps it long, headed back by Medford. Boy, that, I don't know how that doesn't hurt. Yeah. And he blow the whistle for the takedown. These guys are getting their head on it. They're not just heading it, knocking it down. They're heading it 20, 30 yards upfield. That has to take a toll if you do it long enough. Raphael Gross will take the free kick from the 20-yard line. Dead center. Glasgow sets up their picket fence. They fake it, now they take it, they knock it right into that picket fence. Glasgow knocks it away. Medford gave it away almost. Glasgow fanned on it. Nobody can get a foot on it. And Medford finally takes Glasgow down. And the kick will come from the 45-yard line. Now with 12 minutes left, we're going to get another timeout. Dahl hustling, trying to keep it in. It goes out. Still 1-0 Glasgow off the goal with Shane. I'm saying Gabriel Sarmento. Everybody trying to get ahead on the ball. All these young guys, that's a huge part of this game, trying to get your head on the ball. Glasgow breaks it up. That's headed back about 20 yards. They get by the defense, trying to center it. They get blocked. They get it out in front again. Blocked. It stayed in front of the net, and the defense cleared it away. I think it was Halimi that cleared it away. Dahl pushes it ahead. Dahl gets it back down the near side. Trying to get around the defense. Can't. I think you're going to get Dahl for grabbing, holding, pushing. He's trying to get around, get the ball. Trying to get the defensive player off balance. Medford will kick it away. We mentioned Medford's trying to get a sweep here. They beat English here. Glasgow took it away, but then Medford broke it up. Popped up, headed away. Starting it to the far side. Pass is picked off. They threw it too far ahead. They were trying to send Alvarez in. They threw it too far. Alaka will come out, field it, and kick it away. It's a midfield. They knock it deep. They give it back to Diaz. He boots it away. Medford kept it in. They were actually offside. They were still behind the defense when they made that pass. They didn't blow the whistle. Down deep with the throw in for Medford. Glasgow breaks it up, falling down, knocks it away, and they get knocked down, so they'll get a free kick. Halimi will kick it away. He's got a big leg, boy. He kicked that a long way. little give and go, but the last give and go pushed it too far. Glasgow's going to get called for bumping and pushing. Medford will get a free kick. Just inside midfield. They got a piece of it, headed it to the net. Diaz able to make the save. Didn't get a lot on it. They were able to just redirect it. Diaz able to make the save, and he'll kick it away. Now he's not going to kick it. He's going to throw it upfield to Gomez. Dunn pushes it ahead. Dunn breaks it up. Medford gets it back. Glasgow knocks it out. And headed out by Dunn. Medford will let it go out. Skips past. Dahl looking for it, tips it. Dahl looking to get it back. Pass picked off. They knock it deep. Medford knocks it back. Dunn went to go get it, missed it, and they took a player down. Gift Charles got leveled. I think it'll be Ayana Kiev will take the free kick. Glasgow heads it away, and they boot it away. Deflect off Glasgow, they head it away. Gross keeps it in, Glasgow tips it away. And they have to push it all the way back to midfield. Pass misses everybody. Dahl picked it off. And his pass is broken up nicely by Gross. Looking to walk in. Nice defense. Just picked his pocket. I can't tell you who that was because I don't have a number 7 on my Glasgow roster. Pop straight up and out of play. 5 minutes left in this first half. 1-0 Glasgow. They got the goal early. Medford really hasn't had an opportunity. They had one good play. Diaz made a tremendous save. And that's been it. They go Glasgow offside, I think. No, they didn't. There's a Medford player back downfield behind the play. The trainer has to come out and look at him. Just under 4 minutes left on the clock as they check out the player. We're giving the goal to Gabriel Sarmento early, very early. For Glasgow, it's just been back and forth ever since. Glasgow really hasn't had another good chance since then. Medford had one good chance, and Diaz made just an unbelievable save from point-blank range. And now they're helping the young man off. Let's hope he's going to be okay. Really favored that left leg. They're not even going to try to get him to the Medford bench. He's out next to the classical bench, laying down. So let's hope he's going to be okay. They put the ball back in play. The pass behind Dahl. He has to go back and get it. Dunn's pass broken up. Sarmiento got taken down. And Glasgow will get the free kick. Halimi once again will take it with his big leg. Drills it to the net. Medford got a head on it, knocked it out. Glasgow will get a corner kick. We'll have substitutions first. Corner coming from the far side. They line drive it out in front. Medford gets a head on it, knocks it out, and we'll do it again. Out in front, Medford got a head on it again. They're going to knock it to the near side, kept it in play. And now Medford can't help be called for that. They knocked Classical down and laying on the ground. Medford was straddling him on the ground. And that was Alvarez. So the kick will come from just outside the 5-yard line. Didn't miss by much. He drilled that looking for the far corner. It just missed. It was about a foot outside the far post. Almost got that one to go. Final 2 minutes and counting of this first half. 1-0 Classical. Medford trying to come back. Gets tipped. Diaz will come way out of the net and watch it go out of play. He had to make sure that that white shirt bearing down didn't get the ball. Diaz will kick it away. And Medford will knock it out off Julian. As Julian again get a piece of it. They blow the whistle, and that's going to be the half. So Classical got their early goal. We're giving it to Sarmiento, and that's the difference. Back and forth. Medford had one big chance. Diaz made a tremendous save. Classical hasn't had much chance after that, but they lead it. It's Classical 1, Medford 0 at halftime. Just about set to start the second half. As I said, it's been a long day here at Manning Field. 2 football games. This is the second of 2 soccer games played here. It's been a tough week for everybody, for the workers here at Manning Field, for the referees, for the players, the coaches, the fans, the parents, because the bus situation is a mess. I know they're bringing the National Guard in to drive, but they can't drive the buses. They can only drive the vans. And at least 2 nights this previous week, games that were supposed to start at 3:45 started an hour late, which meant the third game didn't start until almost 8 o'clock. Instead of getting out at 8:30, 8:45, people were getting out at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And it's been a mess trying to get teams. I know it's extremely hard, especially the handicapped kids to school. That's been a mess with the buses. And the schools getting people back and forth, the buses getting people back and forth to school have not been great because they are running out of bus drivers. I don't know what that was. We certainly had them. I don't know if with COVID, people going on unemployment, I don't know if they were making more than they were making as bus drivers. A lot of people not coming back to their jobs. There's a lot of jobs available. But there aren't a lot of people. If you want to drive a bus, you can get a job. And the only ones suffering are the school kids. And it bounces out. Glasgow will get the throw in. One, I think Glasgow, they got the goal very early, and that was their really only chance. Diaz kept it a 1-0 game through the first half when he made it outstanding save, point blank range. He just reached up and got a piece of it with his hand and knocked it away. An outstanding save. You won't see anything better than that all year. They pop it up. Glasgow keeps it in. Medford knocks it out. Medford will get the free kick. Move it all the way down inside the 30. A little bit of an angle, but they can certainly get to the net from here. They knock it off to the left. It got headed, and they try to keep it in, sliding. They got a piece and knocked it out of play. Diaz will kick it away. Glasgow coming back. Pop it up. It's loose. Medford clears it away. Glasgow knocks it upfield. Medford gets there. Glasgow kept it in play. Almost looked like they were going to let it go. Looked like Viveros was going to let it go out of play, and it Fooled everybody by keeping it in. Broken up nicely by the defense. Try to make that little touch pass. That was Ayana Kiev making that nice defensive play. Haskell gets a head on it. Medford gets a head on it. Haskell clears it away. They knock it deep. Medford back here to collect. They knock it back to Lalaka. Haskell picked off the pass. From long range, they pop it straight up in the air. It went to the net, but Lalaka had to wait for it to come down. Booted away. Popped up, headed away. And again, that's number 7 for Classical. I don't know who it is because they don't have a number 7. Sarmento looking for the return pass. It got broken up. Classical keeping the pressure on. Couldn't get around. Nice defensive play. They just picked the pocket. And they almost sent Julian in alone. Little give and go. Back to Sarmento. Classical player went down. He's slow getting up. But he is getting up. Booted deep, tipped away, headed away. Popped to the near side, almost skipped by. They knock it deep. Hoskins let it go out of play. Knocked down, Medford winds up with it. They get by, walking in, still walking in. They took the shot and knocked it high over the net, actually way wide, right side of the net. Gross walked right in, got too much foot, and just drilled it way wide right, way up over the net and out of play. Diaz will kick it away. Headed to the Medford side. Classical knocking it away. It slipped past Medford, headed by Classical. Once again, Diaz will kick it away. Medford got a head on it. And bodies go down. They call it on classical. And once again, Yana Kiev will get the free kick. And Medford was way offside. They were breaking before the kick. There were like 5 white shirts. Millie boots it very deep again. He's got a huge leg. They knock it deep. Hustling. Millie hustles over and kicks it out of play. They knock it upfield. Diaz at the side of the net will play it and boot it away. Popped up. Popped up again. Oscar knocks it deep. Medford will get there first. Straight up in the air. Off a classical head. Now we got a whistle, I think, for another takedown. Medford player is down. Official is checking to make sure he's okay. Trainer's waiting to come out and check on him. They're going to take him out, make a replacement. And the trainer will take a look at him. Free kick coming from the 40-yard line. They gathered up around the net, thinking he can kick it that far. And he just about did. It bounced loose. Classical trying to head it away. Medford gets a head on it. Medford trying to keep it alive. They knock it off. Classical out of play. Medford knocks it the other way. They got a head on it. Classical popped it up. Medford gets ahead. Trying to keep it in. They push it down the far side. It's going to go out of play. Classical will get to kick it away. Diaz will do the honors using his right foot again. Medford misfired. It goes out of play. And Diaz will put it in play for Medford. And it went out. Classical will throw it in. After Sarmiento got that first goal, it's just been back and forth. Medford had that one opportunity. Classical hasn't had any. And they've just been virtually between the 20s. They knock it back. Classical picks it off to the near side. Broken up nicely. Classical hustles, gets a foot on it, but they knocked it out. That was Viveros trying to hustle and knock it up court, upfield. He knocked it out. And once again, Randazzo will put it in play after the substitution. Skips by everybody. They knock it out, and they blew the whistle. I don't know if they were blowing it for contact. And I guess they were, because they're going to get a free kick. And once again, Ayana Kiev. Hard to say that. Ayana Kiev. We got another free kick from the 40-yard line, a little bit of an angle. He never really gets it anywhere near the pile. Classical's trying to knock it away, and they do. Medford breaks up the play. Classical gets it back. And Classical gets taken down. And he got taken down hard. They went down around his ankles and just clipped him and took him down hard. And they wrote the check on him. Classical with a free kick, puts it in play. It's loose. Malaka came out. Another huge kick by Halimi. Malaka came out, had it, dropped it. But luckily for Medford, there was a defenseman right there to clear it away. That was almost Halimi with another huge kick. Classical knocks it out. Medford will put it in play. Classical tips it away, looking to go get it. Classical player went down. I didn't see anybody anywhere near him. Classical was just kicking the ball upfield. I don't know if he came down the wrong way. But now another player down. Again, they're trying to stretch that leg. There was nobody near him. It wasn't a case of he got hit and collided with somebody and got banged up. He just kicked the ball upfield. I looked back, and he was laid out. Off Classical. Medford has to track it down. Classical actually took it away. Medford finally clears it. Viveros had it knocked away. Medford knocks it out. They knock it deep. Gross looking for it from Medford, trying to come to the middle. They back checked and knock it off his foot. Classical broken up. They get it back. Medford takes it away. Good defense by Halimi. They pop it up. They knock it deep. Classical takes it away. Medford takes it back. Headed away by Classical, away from the net. Headed again. As he headed again, he got knocked down. And yet another player down. But he's getting up. Classical backing up, try to make a play. They knock it into the Classical bench area. Halfway through and counting the second half. That early goal by Classical is the difference. And now as we pass the halfway mark, with Classical leading at 1-0 here in the second half, we get a timeout. Back out of the timeout. Classical still leading at 1-0. That tremendous save by Diaz, the play of the game, keeps that lead for Classical. Now we just go back and forth. Just every time they move it, somebody breaks it up, moves it to the other end. Broken up again. Taking it back and forth. Nobody really getting any kind of an opportunity. Medford controls for a while, Classical controls for a while, but nobody really getting a shot on net. Classical breaks it up, clears it. Medford slides. I don't know if it hit him in the hand or the arm. Classical's going to get a free kick. Here's another strong drive. What a foot he's got. Eldon Halimi. Boy, he kicks that ball out of sight. He kicked that ball almost 60 yards. Out off Classical. Headed away by Classical. Medford bringing it back the other way. Broken up nicely by Viveros. And he blew the whistle. It'll be a free kick. Coming from the 20-yard line for Medford. Become a kicking game by Ayana Kiev. And Elzon Halimi. From long range, that would have been on net. I think that's only their second shot on net, I think. Diaz made the save, and he'll boot it away. Kicks it high in the air to midfield. Takes a big hop. Medford actually tips it back to their own net. and they clear it away, and they knock it out into the Classical bench area. Classical very quickly with the throw-in. Bodies go down. Classical takes another player down. And once again, player goes down, they stay down. The trainer is earning his money tonight. The one problem I have with this is I hesitate. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's difficult when you see bodies go down. But it kind of mind-boggling when you see them get up and under their own steam, walk to the bench and like nothing happened. So my problem is I never know whether they're hurt or not. And now again, up under his own steam, looks like he's okay, walking to the bench. Medford broken up, trying to get something started. Julian got spun off the play, and it went out off Classical. Trying to throw it in front, headed away by the Classical defense. Corner kick coming from the near side. Medford got a piece of that corner kick, but they tipped it away from the net, and Classical knocks it deep. Medford broke it up. They get by that defender, they would have had 2-on-1. Breaking it up again nicely. Riveros breaks it up. That was Iannikiev from his defensive spot taking that ball upfield. They knock it deep. Gross was trying to get to the ball, taking a Classical player down. Classical was nonchalantly letting it go to Diaz. It might not have got there. But Gross went by and just took no prisoners. He knocked one Classical player down. But the play went out, and Classical will kick it away. Alimi will kick it away again. And once again, he drills it. And all of a sudden, the lights are going here at Manning Field. Scoreboard's still working. But it's pitch black here at Manning Field. That was kind of a nightmare. All of a sudden sitting here and everything went pitch black. The lights up here in the press box were still open, or still going. But it just, what they did was they forgot to reset the timer because this game was supposed to be played, I believe it was Thursday night at 7:30, 7:15. And they changed it, I mentioned that earlier. They changed it to today at 6 o'clock. So they have the lights on the timer. They timed it today and they didn't time it for this game because this game was not supposed to be played here. So they had to reset the timer. And then took a little bit of time for each bulb to blossom and light up, and a couple of them are still trying to get there. But we're back. Classical's still leading 1-0 in this Greater Boston League action. Classical will get the throw in. One shot by Medford here in the second half. One big-time shot that Diaz made a tremendous save on. And the one goal by Classical very early on. Other than that, the game has been played virtually between the 20s or the 15s. Somebody will start to make a move, they'll break it up, knock it the other way. They'll break it up and move it back the other way. So it's been interesting. Last time Medford was here, they came an hour late because their bus didn't show up until 3:25 at the school. Then they had to fight the traffic, and the game started an hour later, excuse me. Now Medford gets here, everything is going well. Start on time, the game is going. And all of a sudden, boom, it's pitch black. Headed by Medford, but they headed back the other way. They have to hurry. Classical looked like they might get there first. And they had to hurry and knock it out. At least it was productive with the lights being out. Because I mentioned before, I have no number 7. I've been calling number 15, Rigoberto Gomez, and he's wearing number 7. And 15 is Jason Ventura. So at least we got something done during the blackout. It goes out off Classical. And it's Viveros. 10 minutes and counting, if we don't have any more interruptions. Scoreboard never blinked. The scoreboard stayed on. It was only the lights. Classical just got there and tipped it. It went out. That was Sarmento. Actually, it was Gerdia. I'll give them both credit. They try to go deep with the throw in. Classical heads it out. Headed by Medford, now they kick it way across field. And it goes out of play. Classical will get the throw in. We're finally winding down this very long day at Manning Field. Tipped. Medford knocks it back like they were giving it to the goaltender. It wasn't going to get there. They had to hustle before Classical got there. Viveros gets the return, gives it back, and then gets it back again. You try to leave it for Askaplu. I hope I'm pronouncing that close. Fazil Askaplu. Classical trying to control. They do. Medford takes it away. It slips by. Medford looking for a break, pushing it ahead. Diaz comes out, and they knock it home. It went by everybody. Diaz came all the way out to try and get it, and they knocked it past. Tough goal for Classical. Give up with 7.5 minutes left to tie it at 1. They pushed it deep. It got by the defense. I have no idea who scored because they surrounded them afterwards. And Classical tried to go get it. Diaz came way out of the net, and they just blasted it by him. He had no chance. Medford knocks it out. So that's only the third shot on net by Medford, but they score and tie it up. Tough goal for Classical to give up. They knock it through. Lalaka comes out, gets there before Classical does. Medford tipping it ahead. Alimi knocks it away. High, long kick. Headed away by Hamili. Loose out in front. Classical gets control and knocks it away. And then Medford sliding knocks it out. Now with 6:20 left, after they had that long blackout, they decided they needed another timeout. So Medford coming out of the timeout ties it up. We're dead even, 1 apiece with 6:20 left in the game. .620 left in this one, 1-1 the score as Medford breaks out after the timeout. Now we got to worry about way over in the distance there was lightning. If the officials see that, there'll be another stoppage. We may not get out of here till Tuesday. Classical heads it away. Medford missed the kick, but they keep it in. Classical got a piece. Medford's going to let it go out off the Veros. Classical pops it up. Medford lets it go out. Now they're calling it off Medford. Medford was trying to block Classical off to let it go out so they could get the throw in, and they called it off Medford. Classical hasn't been close since the 1 goal, and that was very early in the first half. But they held on to that 1-0 lead, 7.5 minutes left. Medford ties it up. Another long kick by Halimi. And Medford knocks it out. So who did you give that goal to? Huh? As I mentioned, we didn't see who got the goal, but the official scorer gave it to Jordan Ayanikiev. So we'll go with that. saw 5 minutes left, the clock not moving, but they just told me that the official said to leave it, to stop it at 5, like they usually stop it at 2. Diaz waiting a long time. I thought maybe how could he be hurt? He just made the stop and fell on the ball. But he stayed there for a while. Now he kicks it away. Past midfield. It's knocked away. Haskell knocks it deep. Headed away. So the officials will decide when the game ends. Usually it's 2 minutes, and we can anticipate, but now the officials are now saying, and we had an awful lot of players go down with the clock had to be stopped. Haskell knocks it deep. Lalaka will come way out, play it, and he'll kick it away. Boots it past midfield. Glasgow knocks it back the other way. Glasgow finally takes it away. Viveros blocked, and it gets knocked out. Shanahan was the one that knocked it out. They were going to slip it and make the pass to Jose Gomez, but he slipped and he couldn't go get it. And he was well behind, and the play went knocked out by Medford. Glasgow knocks it deep. Lalaka comes out, gets it, and he'll kick it away. We've had everything. We had 2 football games. This is the second soccer game. We had a complete blackout. We've had all kinds of bodies go down. Glasgow hustles back. They give it to Viveros. He kicks it deep. Medford kicks it away. This is how it's been for most of the game. Just try to get something going, but every time it looks like you might, the other team takes it away and brings it back the other way. And it's quickly broken up. Glasgow had it. They get it back. Broken up to get it back again. Maybe a little too much one-on-one right there. Trying to get around 2 or 3 players by himself. Didn't give up the pass. The free kick coming for Glasgow. And there's another bomb out in front. Medford got a head on it. Knocked it away. Glasgow will get a corner kick. Winding down this one. Glasgow scored very early. Medford finally got on the board with 7.5 left. And now the kick goes way past the net, out of play. Medford will kick it away. Lalaka will boot it away. Glasgow heads it back. Pops straight up in the air. Medford missed the kick, and they pop it straight up in the air, and it goes out of play. Viveros quickly puts it in play. They blow the whistle, and that's going to be the game. So you can't say it wasn't exciting. Glasgow got a goal very early. Medford got a goal with 7.5 minutes left. It winds up a 1-1 tie here at Manning Field. So Sarmento for Glasgow. Jordan Ionikiev for Medford. Medford will be undefeated here at Manning Field. They beat English, they tie Glasgow, but they don't go 2-0. as we get a 1-1 tie, Medford and Classical in this boys hockey GBL battle. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.